What we said at pump 3. The charge showed up at 2:03 a.m., which is a rude time for a receipt to introduce itself. Highway Fuel Mart, $47.18. The bank app was calm about it. Under the charge, a location. Exit 41, the lonely part of the loop where the city pretends it doesn't know you. Mara and I have a pact about money. Tell the truth when the number is small so the big ones learn manners. A 2:03 a.m. gas receipt didn't break the pact. It tapped on it like a polite criminal. She told me she was working late with her team on the Calder launch and might crash at the office. "Don't wait up," she'd said, and kissed me like the period at the end of a productive sentence. Mara's car sat under the single working light, hood ribboned with old rain. I parked the way you park when you want to look nonchalant for the benefit of a camera and a cashier who probably doesn't care. Inside, the counter man, PRADEP, wore a T-shirt that said "This is MY relaxed shirt." He glanced at me with the professional boredom of someone who has seen a lot of 2 a.m. decisions and learned to keep score only if invited. "Coffee," he offered, because men ask each other for help via liquids. "Later," I said. "Is there a woman here? Short hair, green coat, looks like she knows the map." He tapped the side of his nose and I liked him instantly. "Out by pump 3, he said. "Phone call." He slid a packet of mints across the counter. "For bravery," he said, deadpan enough to be kind. Mara leaned against pump 3 the way people in magazines lean against convertibles, which is to say, like gravity works differently for them. She was talking to someone on her earbuds, that tilt of the head that means the conversation is both urgent and survivable. Her breath made small clouds. She saw me, and her expression did two things at once: relief and "oh no, we're doing this at a gas station." She ended the call with efficient tenderness. "You followed the charge," she said. "No accusation, just weather." "I followed the dot," I said, holding up my phone like a dog who knows it has brought the wrong stick. "I needed caffeine and a parking lot," she said. The office turned into a competition about who could be the most loyal to bad ideas. She looked at my face, whatever it was doing, and added softer, "I should have texted." "You still could," I said, and we both smiled because we are the kind of couple who shops for jokes when the shelves are empty of wisdom. "Did nobody help?" I asked. "Nobody's very patient," she said. "Also, the bathroom code at this place is a poem." She showed me the receipt, 314,159. See, Pi, I love when the world is bored enough to be clever. We stood in the blue light of a machine built to make cars behave and listened to the hiss of something that wasn't us. I wanted to ask the question that had driven me here. Is there someone? I wanted to be smarter than that question. The night waited to see which version of me won. "Do you want to go inside?" I asked. "Pradeep has mints for bravery." "I respect both those nouns," she said, "but I'm good. Can we walk the perimeter like teenagers?" We did. Gravel argued under our shoes. The edge of the lot gave way to a drainage ditch that whispered like it knew secrets and refused to be paid for them. Behind the store, a truck idled. "I thought you were sleeping at the office," I said, which is a true sentence and not yet a question. "I thought I was," she said, "until the office started rehearsing a version of me I don't like. I left to remember how to be the one you know." She glanced at me. "Are you here to catch me or to keep me?" "Both," I said. "It fits," she said, breathing like someone who'd been holding it in meetings. We angled back toward the pumps. Pradeep had stepped outside to smoke without smoking, hands tucked into his sleeves like he was warming them over invisible soup. He waved. We waved back. The highway did its endless impression of a river that forgot how to be quiet. "What would you like to ask me?" Mara said, practical as a clean knife. "I'd like to ask you if there's a person in this night with a name I should learn," I said. "I'd like to ask you if Pump 3 means something I haven't admitted to myself." She didn't flinch. That's the best part about loving someone who owns her face. "There isn't," she said. "There is a client with an agenda and a team with competing versions of virtue and a roof that will not care about our ambition. There's me, tired, not interesting, learning to leave rooms before they steal my better sentences. There's you, being brave with mints." "I'm not brave," I said. "I'm just a man who dislikes certain times on his banking app." "You've always been honest when it mattered," she said. "That's rarer than brave and more useful." A car rolled in and left. We were alone again with our strange little theater. Mara put her hands in her coat pockets and rocked on her heels the way she does when she's about to propose new architecture for our lives. "Can we write rules for nights like this?" she asked. "Handrails, not laws." "On what?" I said. "A windshield." She produced a pack of sticky notes from her coat. "I borrowed these from the office," she said. "Don't tell Craig." We wrote against Pump 3, the flat metal our desk. I held the notes to the pump like a poster campaign. "The people of Exit 41 will be so inspired," I said. "Or confused," she said, and smiled with her winter smile, which is prettier because it refuses to try. "You want to know what brought me here for real?" "Yes," I said, "because nothing good has ever come from pretending you don't." "I needed to return a thing I took from the night," she said. "I borrowed quiet and promised to bring it back in better condition. I wanted to do it before the day noticed." She shifted her weight like a confession had moved from one pocket to the other. "And okay, I wanted to cry where nobody at the office would file it under female." "You're allowed to cry at home," I said, and immediately regretted the easy virtue of the sentence. "I know," she said, gentle, "but I don't want to aim emotions at you like you're responsible for catching them. Sometimes the parking lot is better equipped." Pradeep offered pie and coffee. We accepted. It was simple and kind. "You can borrow this one, return it when done." When the coffee was gone and the pie plate clean and the sticky notes folded like tiny treaties in Mara's pocket, we walked outside into a night that had decided not to punish us. We stood under the working light and let the buzz replace an argument. The receipt in Mara's hand, 2:03 a.m., $47.18, was suddenly just a record of fuel. "I'm still mad," I said, surprising both of us. "Not at you, at how easy it was to believe the worst because the timestamp was impolite." "Let be mad together at time, then," she said. "It hasn't earned its reputation." She leaned into me, forehead to jaw, the way she does when she wants to return herself and needs me to sign for the package. "Thank you for coming to retrieve me." "Next time text," I said, "even if the text is only a picture of nothing." She nodded. "We should add that to the rules," she said. "Document the nothing. Send proof of life when the life is unremarkable." "Done," I said. We pumped gas. The nozzle clicked and the pump beeped and my card was accepted by the future. When I went to return the handle, I found someone had scratched a message into the metal ages ago. "Be where your feet are." It was corny. It was genius. It was everything I needed from philosophy at 2:47 a.m. "I think our marriage is sponsored by pump manufacturers," I said, showing Mara the message. "Better than detergent," she said. We drove home with the windows cracked. At a light she looked at me like a cat choosing a lap. "You'd have come even if it was worse," she said. "Yes," I said. "I'd have asked for the key in your face." At home, we taped the sticky note rules to the fridge. In the morning, she handed me the receipt and a pen. I wrote, "When the scenery changes at stupid hours, narrate it kindly." She added, "Send a photo of nothing." We stuck it inside the sugar cabinet. That night, she texted a picture of a dark street with no story. I sent back our table with mints for bravery, proof of life, proof of home.